met how he and his parents were traveling to a fair, and how the child, of a vibrant nature, the child of a vibrant nature, is attracted towards all the things in front of him. His attention jumps from one place to the other within a matter of minutes, and he runs here and there, not regarding the cautionary call from his parents. And whenever he wanted something, yes, good afternoon, Sheena. Whenever he wanted something, he would say it in a murmur, because he knew at the back of his mind that his parents will not buy anything for him. Okay, even if he insists, his parents won't buy him certain things. So these were the problems that the boy faced. But other than that, everything else was very good for him. It was a very beautiful day. It was that time of the year when everything blooms, and every insect and human beings come out of their hiding places and try to enjoy the beautiful sunshine. It was the time of spring. So the village fair was where everyone in the village was moving to. Okay, everyone was moving towards the village fair. Everyone wanted to spend a good time at the village fair. So even the boy and the family, they were also moving towards the village fair. And on his way to the village fair, he meets with a beautiful mustard field, and then also the beautiful butterflies, as well as the dragonfly, then the flowers that were falling from the banyan tree, and then the worms and insects coming out of the hiding places. And then he went behind the cooing sound of, or the cooing of the doves. Okay, so these are all the things which were attracting him. And when he neared the fair, he found that there was a huge crowd in front of him, which intimidated him a little bit. But his intimidation was reduced when he started to see the things that were lining up to the from the entrance of the fair. Okay, at the entrance itself, the person selling the sweets, that was the sweet meat seller, he had taken the first position at the entrance itself, so that he can get lots and lots of business from the people who were getting into the fair. And he was selling gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi, and jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd has already formed in front of his house. And he had made architectures, different types of buildings with his sweets in order to attract the customers. And the boy was attracted towards the burfi, which was his favorite sweet. It was not the gulab jamun, the rasgulla, or jalebi that attracted him. It was the burfi that attracted him. Suddenly, he started forgetting everything around him, and he was concentrating only on burfi. He murmured very slowly. Why he was murmuring? Because he knew that his parents will never ever provide what he wanted. Okay, so he started murmuring, and he said that he wanted the burfi. But he knew at the back of his mind that his plea would not be heeded or will not be heard by his parents, and they will say that he was greedy, and they will deny him the burfi, telling him that he was greedy. Then he moved from there without waiting for their answer. He moved to the next stall, where a flower seller was crying at the height of his voice, and he was selling a garland of different flowers. Okay, and one was gulmohar, and the color of the gulmohar attracted the boy. Even though he didn't have any use of that mala or a garland, he said, and he murmured again, knowing that his parents will never buy it for him. He murmured he wanted the garland. Okay, then again he understood, he knew the answer would be a big no, and the parents will say that it was very cheap, okay, of low quality. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. Then, what was the other things that caught the eye of this little boy? A man stood holding a pole with yellow, red, green, and purple balloons flying from it. Yes, one of the best things. Even balloons attract not only children but adults too, right? How you grow, yes, if you are 60 or if you are 90, if you see a balloon, yes, balloons are such things just like chocolates which attract the young and the old alike. Okay, so his eyes stuck on to a balloon seller, a man who was standing with a by holding a pole, and from the pole there were different colored balloons flying to the sky. The child was simply carried away by the rainbow glory of their silken colors, and he was filled with an overwhelming desire to possess them all. Adella, not only one, but he wanted every color because he was overwhelming, just like brimming. We learned a word called brimming in the first class, right? Brimming with joy, just like that, overwhelming, overflowing. He couldn't contain the desire that was rising inside him. Okay, overflow, yes, overwhelming desire. He couldn't control the desire to possess, to acquire those balloons that were flying from the boat. All of them. He didn't want any single one. ഒന്നും വേണ്ട. He wanted everything.
അയ്യോ.
Everything. Okay. He didn't want one. He wanted everything. Every balloon that was flying from his pole. Because of the rainbow glory of their silken colors. Yes, it is just, even though it is made of rubber, the balloons, when they are blown up to their extreme, what happens is they produce, even the colors started to glow, right? Huh? It has a silken texture, the balloons, isn't it? And this attracted the boy and built in him an overwhelming desire to possess them all. But he well knew his parents would never buy him balloons because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. He's a small boy, and his parents will tell him he's too old to play with this balloons. See how cruel these parents are, eh? Right? How cruel the parents are. Even now, I play with balloons. The previous day, it was my son's birthday, and I had blown lots and lots and lots of balloons over here. And still, every balloon burst, I was playing with that with my son. It's so joyful thing playing with the balloons. And these parents, they're telling him, small child, the small poor boy, they're telling him, it's not, it's he is too old to play with balloons. So he walked on further. Cruel parents. There might be something behind it. Okay, let's see what it is. So he moved on from there also. Yeah, he knew his parents' answer. So he didn't want to disturb them. So he moved on to the next thing. And the next thing was a snake charmer. Who's a snake charmer? Huh? Next thing was a snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket, its head raised in a graceful bend like the neck of a swan. Snake, yeah, snake, real snake. While the music stole into its invisible ears like the gentle rippling of an invisible waterfall. I'll show you who a snake charmer is. Okay. I have taken it over here. I'll show you. Snake charmers. Nowadays, we don't see snake charmers at these festivals and all. Because in the old days, it was a usual uh, picture. Wherever there was a festival, that is near to the temple, or the what do you say, the temple, or the church, or the mosque. Anyway, if there is festival going on, a snake charmer. Yeah, Pambati, we call it. Yes, Pambati. Nowadays, it is not a sight at all. We cannot see such things nowadays because it's this is right now. I think yes, I have seen, yes, live, because nowadays what happens is not nowadays, there is animal rights. Got it. Animals has have also got rights, and they are also things, living things that share this world along with us. They are not the only people living on this planet, right? They also have rights. This is a snake charmer. Okay, in North India and all, there is a what you say, a religion also. Snake charmers. They live by collecting or catching snakes and making them dance. Original snake, yes, original snake. And the great Indian rope trick, it was a magic that was born in India. Okay, magic trick. In that also, the magician changes into a snake charmer, and he blows his bean. This is called the bean, the instrument in his hand. Okay, can you see it? Huh?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So this person with the turban, he is blowing onto a small instrument, right? Huh? It's called a bean. Okay. Uh, uh, it won't. Yeah, it will bite. It will bite. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you the details. Okay. So this person, he is blowing his bean. It's a very shrill sound. It produces a shrill sound. We will study about this instrument in one of the lessons. We have to study bean, not bean. Bean. Hindi word it is. Okay. Bean bajai, we call it. So yeah, bean. And we'll have to study about this instrument. Okay. There is another word for it. I forgot that word. Okay. And when we see a snake, I will not move. You have to stay still, because snakes doesn't have any ears. You know that, no? Huh? Then how does a snake dance while listening to the music? It's not because of the music that it dance. It's because of the movement of the instrument. Okay, it can see. It moves along with the movement. And when he plays this instrument, he will move this instrument in a circular motion. Okay, when he plays this instrument. How many of you have seen this snake charmer in action? Huh? Okay, Sienna has seen it. Yes. Okay, Ramya.
Me.
Okay. Ah, yeah, in movie and all, you might have seen it, right? So what they do is in the old days. Nowadays, it is not. They are not supposed to catch, or they are not supposed to hold animals like this. Okay, I don't know if they are still there. And what they do is they will catch snake and they will break off their teeth, the poison teeth. No, the poison comes out of their teeth. So what they will do is they will break this teeth off so they cannot bite. Okay. So that is how they attain. Yeah, fang. Yes, they break their fang off. So these fangs inject. They use these fangs to inject the poison inside the body of a person. And what they do is they pluck this fang off so that they cannot bite anyone. So it doesn't become dangerous. So that is how they treat the snakes. That's why it has been banned now. So the coming back to this lesson, and also I will share one more thing with you, the Great Indian Rope Trick, which is related to this snake charmer. So what happens in this Great Indian Rope Trick is this magician, he turns into a snake charmer, and he will have a instrument, and he will start playing the instrument, and instead of the snake coming out of the box, it will be a rope. Okay, and usually they used to do it in an open space. Okay, so Western countries, people from Western countries were really fascinated. Okay, and what happens is this rope will climb up. Okay, it will go up, 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 up. It will extend into the sky. And then what happens is he will stop. Presentation, no presentation. I am telling you, you can see me, right? You can all see me, right? Okay, up, up, up. And then what happens is the magician will start to climb on this rope. Okay, and he will vanish off. And he will vanish off after some when he goes up, he will vanish. And then what happens is this rope will fall down. That is how the magician exits from his stage. That was called the Great Indian Rope Trick. Okay. Uh, the, you didn't understand the Great Indian Rope Trick. Okay. It was a very good, very great thing. The old days, the time of Harry Houdini and all magicians in India, they used to do this Great Indian Rope Trick. The Westerners were very fascinated by this. So snake charmer, just like they will play this bean, and I have seen one trick. Okay, nowadays they do it in some different way. Old days and all, did it, I don't know, because and this magician will emerge from the crowd after that. He will go up, and this will fall down. That is, the rope will fall down in a coil. It will come into a coil just like a rope. Then what happens is the magician will emerge from the crowd, behind the crowd. It was very great trick. Okay, so coming back to the lesson, the boy was fascinated again by the scene of this snake charmer, his bean, or the snake was swaying. Okay, the snake was swaying according to the music that the musician or the snake charmer was playing. A flute. He was using a flute in order to make a music, and the snake, it was coiled inside the basket, and it has raised itself, and it was swaying in a gracious manner. Okay, and he was really fascinated by this. Okay, the child went towards the snake charmer, but knowing his parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played, he proceeded further. He wanted to go over there and see it, but already his parents had told him that these type of music were bad. Okay, it was the old time. Okay, it was not the new, the present situation. Okay, it was not the new generation type of people. It was the old type generation type of people, and they considered music to be different, right? Music to be, yes, what you say, sin. Okay, so these type of music were really coarse. It was restricted from everything. I don't know why. Okay, let's see. There was a roundabout in full swing. So this is the last thing that he sees. Okay, there was a roundabout. What is a roundabout? You might have seen roundabouts. Pungi, yes, pungi. It is called pungi. Yes, the flute of the snake charmer is called pungi. Thank you very much, Sienna, for helping me out. So this is roundabouts. Have you seen giant
Sorry,
wheel?
sir, it's not me. It's Edwin.
It was Edwin. Okay. Oh, thank you, Edwin, by the way. So this roundabout, have you seen a roundabout? Roundabout nowadays is called merry-go-round. Okay. Merry-go-round. Have you seen a merry-go-round? It is, yes. So though for those who haven't seen it, I will just show you what a merry-go-round is. Two different versions of a merry-go-round. Okay. And one is a Western type of merry-go-round, and then the other one is a Indian version of it. Okay, So this is the Western version of a merry-go-round. You will find such things in carnivals over there. Okay, this is a Western type of merry-go-round, roundabout. Okay, and then there is the Indian version. I think it is there. Here, this is the Indian version. And you see, all of you, you might have
Yes,
seen. Yeah, you might have seen this.
I
So
can see.
this is the merry-go-round. Okay, so this is the merry-go-round, and the boy reaches the merry-go-round, and the boy suddenly stops over there. What happens at the merry-go-round? Let's see. Okay, so the merry-go-round. There was a merry-go-round in full swing, so it was moving around. It was swinging around with men, women, and children, all of them screaming at the top of their voice. Right? When you are riding a merry-go-round, your tummy will overturn, and then you will have to make noises, otherwise you will vomit. Okay. Yes, all of them, they were enjoying, carried away in a whirling motion. That is a circular motion, whirling. Just if you take a bucket of water and if you move your hand in a circular motion inside the water, what happens? There will be a whirlwind which will be produced, right? Just like a cyclone, like a twister. Yes. Yes, just like a twister, right? Huh? So that is called the whirling, whirling, whirling motion. Okay, this is called whirling. So the whirling motion, it was the whole roundabout was going in a whirling motion, and they shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. So full enjoyment. They were enjoying it, even though they were making a lot of noises. They were enjoying it in a way. Okay, the child watched them intently, and then he made a bold request. Till now, he had subdued himself, or he had kept himself quiet. Okay, he knew the answer for everything will be a big no. He knew everything. Okay, he didn't want that, but this was the limit. ക്ഷമയുടെ നെല്ലിപ്പടി എന്നൊക്കെ പറയാറില്ലേ, അതാണ്. The boy was at his wit's end. Okay, he controlled himself from the sweetmeat seller. He controlled himself from the flower seller. He controlled himself from the balloon seller. Now, the snake charmer also he overcame. This is the end. I want to get onto that roundabout, no matter what. The child watched them intently and then he made a bold request. Bold. I want to go on the roundabout. Please, father, mother, എനിക്ക് ആ ഒരു റൗണ്ട് അബൌട്ടിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ മെറി ഗോ റൗണ്ടിൽ കയറിയേ മതിയാവും. അച്ഛ, അമ്മേ, what happens? Will they allow? That is what we are going to see. Okay, there was no reply. He turned to look at his parents. They were not there ahead of him. തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കിയപ്പം അച്ഛനും അമ്മയും കാണാം എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കിയ കൊച്ചിന് കാണാൻ പറ്റിയത് അവിടെ അച്ഛനും അമ്മയും ഇല്ല. He turned to look on the either side. അപ്പുറത്തും ഇപ്പുറത്തും നോക്കി. They were not there. He looked behind. There was no sign of them. A full, deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear, "Mother, father!" Tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. Panic-stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither, in all directions, knowing not where to go. "Mother, father!" he wailed. His yellow turban came untied, and his clothes became muddy. A full, deep cry. ഇത്രയും നേരം അവൻ till now he was enjoying the fair, he was enjoying the sight, He was looking at these things. He wanted something, he wanted that, he wanted this, he wanted to climb on the roundabout, and he requested his parents with pleading. He wanted, really wanted to climb on the roundabout. He pleaded to his parents, please, I want to get onto the roundabout. Please, father, mother. But when he turned, he found none. Not his father, not his mother. No one was there. Suddenly, he realized that he was lost. They were not there ahead of him. A full deep cry, അതായത് ചെറുതായിട്ടൊന്നുമല്ല, പെട്ടെന്ന് he realized. He looked to the either side. He realized they were not there. He was lost. Suddenly, reality dawned upon him. Okay, reality is a big thing. Suddenly, he realized he was lost. Suddenly, a full, deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear. Mother, father! Tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. Convulsed, what is meant by convulsed? കോച്ചി പിടിക്കുക. കോച്ചി പിടിക്കുക means, understood, no? Convulse. കോച്ചുക എന്നാൽ ഒരു സൈഡിലേക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ കോച്ചി പിടിക്കുക. Okay. No, this happens in a fair. Okay. These things happen in a fair. It is not that the mother and father has abandoned him over there. He was lost because he was not concentrating on the thing at hand. He was concentrating more on the things in the fair. He left from their sight and he wandered off. His parents wandered off somewhere else and he wandered off somewhere else because he was not holding the hand of the mother as the mother was insisting every time. He ran off from them in a way. So he started, panic started building inside him. He started crying. Okay. And he was looking for his father and mother without any success. He was panic stricken. He was running here and there, but he couldn't find his father and mother. Even the turban that he was wearing, Talapav turban that he was wearing, yellow turban that he was wearing, came off from his head and he fell. And his clothes, new and fresh clothes, had become untidy. It had become muddy. Having run to and fro in a rage of running for a while, he stood defeated. Several minutes he ran here and there, and at last he understood. He is lost. He stood defeated. His cries suppressed into sobs. Okay. His cries, കരച്ചിൽ, അതായത് വാവിട്ടുള്ള കരച്ചിൽ തേങ്ങലായി മാറി തുടങ്ങി. At little distances on the green grass, he could see through his filmy eyes men and women talking. So this boy, he was running here and there for some time. He was looking for his father and mother. And no. I have to finish this lesson today. So I'll be extending after 3 o'clock also. Okay. Bear with me. I'll try to finish it beforehand itself. Let's see. So he was running here and there, looking for his father and mother. And by now, for some time he was running. By now, he came to understand, or he came to terms with the fact that he was lost. So he tried to gather his senses. His wailing has turned into sobs, little sobs, and he started scanning the whole area. And he could see at a distance where the grass was growing, some people were talking over there. Through his filmy eyes, because he was crying, tears were there in his eyes. So there was a film that was formed in his eyes. And with behind from these eyes that he looks at people. That is why the author is saying, filmy eyes. Okay. And men and women talking. He tried to look intently among the patches of bright yellow clothes, but there was no sign of his father and mother among these people, who seemed to laugh and talk just for the sake of laughing and talking. Till now, the boy was happy. So everything was positive around him. Everything was happy, right? He was enjoying the scenes. The doves were cooing, the butterflies and the dragonflies, they were flying and taking in the nectar. The field was in full bloom. Mustard field was in full bloom. Everything was good around him till that time. But now everything is negative. Even the laughing of people was really hurting him. Okay. He thought they were laughing simply for the sake of laughing and talking. Why, what do they have to laugh so much? Now, the thing inside him is all negativity. The thought inside him is all negativity. So his perception has also changed. He ran quickly again, this time to a shrine to which people seemed to be crowding. So there was a shrine nearby. Every fair, I told you, a fair happens with regard to a religious monument. Over here, there was a shrine. Okay. What is meant by a shrine? Monument built for a particular person. Okay. It's called a Devalaya. Yeah, shrine. Okay. So here there was a shrine, and to which people were seemed to be crowding. They were all going to the shrine. Every little inch of space here was congested with men.
So shrine means?
A
Yes.
temple. It's a temple. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So so the people were thronging towards this shrine, and people were very crowded. It was. So he ran towards the shrine so that he could find his father and mother over there. And there it seemed to be every inch, little inch of space here was congested with men. But he ran through people's legs, his little sob lingering. Mother, father. Near the entrance to the temple, however, the crowd became very thick. Men jostled each other, heavy men with flashing, murderous eyes and hefty shoulders. Notice the change of the tone. Till now, it was very pleasant. It was very soothing, right? But now the author is giving us a scene where everything is everything is what do you say? It's like പേടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള. It's frightening. Each and every word that the author is using is trying to frighten the reader. People were hefty. People have suddenly started, they were thick. They were jostling. What is meant by jostle? Jostle. Jostle means തിക്കി തിരക്കുക. Okay. തിക്കി തിക്കി നടക്കത്തില്ല. നമ്മളിപ്പം ഒരു എന്താ പറയാ തിയേറ്ററിലേക്കെല്ലാം പണ്ടൊക്കെ തിയേറ്ററിലേക്ക് കയറണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ടിക്കറ്റ് എടുക്കാൻ കയറുമ്പോ എങ്ങനെയാണ് അല്ലെ ലൈനിൽ തിക്കി തിക്കി കയറത്തില്ലേ, ഇടിച്ച് കയറുക എന്നൊക്കെ പറയത്തില്ലേ, അതുപോലെയാണ്
Yes, yes.
ആൾക്കാരെ. They are not maintaining their manners over here. They were making a ruckus. They were making a problem, creating a problem over there. They were heavy men with flashing, murderous eyes and hefty shoulders. Till now, it was gaily clad humanity. But now it is hefty shoulders, murderous eyes, and heavy men. The poor child struggled to thrust a way between their feet, but knocked to and fro by their brutal movements, he might be trampled underfoot had he not shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice. So till now, it was he was trying to get away. He was trying to find a way inside, in between the people. He was trying to find a way so that he could see his father and mother. He wanted to find his father and mother, and he was trying to make a way through these people who were trying to get inside the shrine to see the god over there, pay their respects. But these people, they were not minding the small child who was trying to make his way in between their legs. They were jostling themselves in order for them to come in front. They were not carrying the child who was in between their legs. And he started to shriek. Suddenly, he understood that he will not be able to make it and he will be crumpled or trampled under the legs of these heavy men. He shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice, "Father, mother!" A man in the surging crowd heard his cry and stopped and stooping with great difficulty lifted him up in his arm. അപ്പൊ ഒരാള് ആ ഒരു ക്രൗഡിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരാള് ഈ ഒരു കരച്ചിൽ കേട്ട് നോക്കിയപ്പോ ഒരു ചെറിയ കൊച്ചാണ് താഴെ വീഴാൻ പോകുന്നു. അവന്റെ മേളിൽ കൂടെ ആൾക്കാർ മെതിച്ച് നടക്കാനുള്ള ശ്രമം നടത്തുകയാണ് എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയ അദ്ദേഹം he bent down. That is called stooping. Okay, he bent down and with great difficulty lifted him up in his arms. He took him in his arms and asked him, "How did you get here, child? Whose baby are you?" Man asked as he steered clear of the mass. So he went away from the mass. He went away from all the people who were thronging inside the, who were trying to throng inside the temple. Who were trying to get inside the temple. He moved from them and he came to an empty space and he started asking the child, how did you get here, child? Whose baby are you? The man asked as he steered clear of the mass. The child wept more bitterly than ever now and only cried, "I want my mother, I want my father." He started crying because everything, he started losing hope. The hope that was kindled inside him when he saw the shrine. He thought that his parents will be there in the shrine. He came running over there. He couldn't get inside at all because these men were struggling to get inside the shrine to see, to take a look at the god inside. And a man, when he asked him, when someone comes to solace us, it is like we will belch our inside out, right? നമ്മൾ ആരെങ്കിലും സമാധാനിപ്പിക്കാൻ നമ്മൾ വളരെ ദുഃഖിതരാണ്, വളരെ വളരെ ദുഃഖിതരാണ്. അപ്പൊ ആ സമയത്ത് ആരെങ്കിലും നമ്മളെ സമാധാനിപ്പിക്കാൻ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ മനസ്സറിഞ്ഞങ്ങ് കരയും, അല്ലേ? The same way, here the child started crying, even bitterly than before. Okay, even bitterly than before. And how he was crying? He was crying, "I want my mother, I want my father." He was crying like that. The man tried to soothe him by taking him to the roundabout, the things that he had seen before. He was taking him, the child, to all those things. The man tried to soothe him. Soothe means, what is meant by soothe? Samadhanipikya. The man tried to soothe him, calm him, by taking him to the roundabout. "Will you have a ride on the horse?" he gently asked as he approached the ring. The child's throat tore into 1,000 shrill sobs, and he only shouted, "I want my mother, I want my father." He was not listening to the man. He didn't want the roundabout. He didn't want to ride the horse on the roundabout. Just wanted his father and mother. The man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to the swaying cobra. Listen to that nice music, child, he pleaded. But the child shut his ears with his fingers and shouted his double pitched strain. I want my mother! I want my mother! The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quieten him. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just sobbed, I want my mother, I want my mother. Nothing. Whatever the good-hearted man was trying to do in order to make the child stop his crying, it was all in vain. Because the things that attracted the child before meant nothing to him right now, because he was not secure. He felt insecurity. Nothing is bigger than security, isn't it? Nothing is bigger than security. A secure life. That is why we try to find a good job. We want to secure our life. We want to secure the life of our kith and kin, our relatives, our parents, uh, wife, child, isn't it? Yeah, the child, he was attracted to all the things before. The snake charmer, he was really attracted towards the music. The roundabout, he really wanted to get onto the roundabout. Balloons. Children and adults alike like balloons, isn't it? It makes them happy. But here, the child was not being happy. Here, the child wanted his parents. He wanted to feel the security of his parents. He wants to go and hold their hands and feel secured. The man, still trying to make the child happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller sat. Look, can you smell those nice flowers, child? Would you like a garland to put round your neck? That was what he wanted before, right? The child turned his nose away from the basket and reiterated his sob. I want my mother. I want my father. That was what he wanted. Not the flowers, not the balloons, not the snake, not the flute, or not the roundabout. It was his mother and father that he wanted. Thinking to humor his disconsolate charge, he was unconsolable. The child was unconsolable. Okay. By a gift of sweets, the man took him to the counter of the sweet shop. What sweets would you like, child? He asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed. And what was the sob? I want my mother. I want my father. It is so. Life is so. Okay. Life is
Sir,
like
is the
this.
story
Yeah.
end here?
Huh?
Sir, is the story end here?
The story ends here. Yes. Mulk Raj Anand ends the story in such a way, he leaves the rest to us. He leaves the rest to us. He's telling us, finish this story. How you have to finish, it's up to you. Will the child find his parents? You can continue this story from here. It is up to you, individuals. How you think. Will the child be brave enough and tell the person who has lent a hand to help him, saying that I don't worry, uncle, I will find my father and mother by myself? Or will this good, kind hearted man find the child's father and mother? That is up to you. So this ends the story over here. Okay? The story of the lost child. That is why I said in the beginning of the lesson, we are all in a way lost children, right? People, we will be attracted to a lot of things in our lives, but we will always have to keep in mind what are the necessary things in our life. We should never ever forget the necessary things in our life, because your parents, you see, the parents over here denote all the necessary things in our life. And the snake charmer, the balloons, roundabout, the sweetmeat, the garland, everything denotes unwanted, unnecessary things in your life. Our nature is so. നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും നേച്ചർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങളോടായിരിക്കും നമുക്ക് കൂടുതൽ താല്പര്യം. Isn't it? This is life. Life is so. നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത കാര്യങ്ങളോടായിരിക്കും നമുക്ക് കൂടുതൽ താല്പര്യം. We'll always be attracted to all the unnecessary things in our life. And we will forget about the necessary things in our life. Here, the boy's parents, they were very strict. They were really damn strict, right? They had their own excuses for all the things. But when the boy lost his parents, they were the best thing in his life. He wanted only them. How strict they are, how cruel they are, he only wanted them, nothing else. Okay, so that is the moral of the story. Keep your my goodness me, Edwin, what is this, man? Don't make me laugh. Yes. So keep this in mind. Okay, keep this in mind. Always keep this always in mind. Okay, keep your necessities near you and unnecessities away from you. Don't let your mind waver off from the goal that you have set in front of you. All right, that ends the lesson for you, The Lost Child by MULK ANAND. And I'll be posting this video as well as the notes for your lesson. Okay, and one more lesson, I'll be giving you notes. After that, you will have to create your own notes, all of you. And after finishing this notes, I want you all to write those notes in your notebook and send me the pictures to my personal WhatsApp number. Okay?
So all notes from the first onwards.
Yes, Alina. Everything, including the adjectives and everything. You'll have to do this, everything. Got it? What are all things I said? Because everything is
Sir?
recorded. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, is there question answers of poem?
Question answers for poem also, yes, it is there. No, I have given that. Haven't I?
Yes, sir, you give.
Yes. So you'll have to write that also. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. And take care, all of you. Bye. Thank you for being good children and listening to this lesson.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care, all of you. Thank you. Bye. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So we will meet again
Thank you, sir.
after 1 week. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice day, all of you.